Oh, hello.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Alex and you are watching BC Adventure. Today we're going to be revisiting the NextCloud Docker installation on UnRaid using Maria database. I've had a number of questions asking why the default option for NextCloud is the SQLite and how to use either the MariaDB SQL or Postgres databases. So today we're going to be looking at that as well as installing a couple apps that make NextCloud extremely functional. And I noticed there's a couple new plugins where you can actually connect your Microsoft Office subscription to NextCloud, which is pretty awesome. We're also going to be looking at connecting this to our reverse proxy so that we can access our NextCloud instance outside of the home network. I noticed the last time that I installed NextCloud, it's become a lot more simple and streamlined. However, it could have been the Docker container that I chose to deploy from whatever repository I was using at that time. One of the great things about UnRaid is that the community is constantly updating the applications that are accessible to us, the general users or the end users. And there's not enough credit is given to the developers of community applications. So if you do have the opportunity to, please leave feedback on any Docker repositories that you've been using. Let the creator know that you appreciate them, possibly donate if you can, because they are doing extremely selfless work at providing all these wonderful containers to us in a well-packaged environment that makes it so easy to deploy. Another thing that I've heard a couple times over the last 6 months is, well, we want to learn from somebody who knows what they're doing. Well, as I've always said with this channel, I'm doing this to teach, not saying that I'm an educator, not saying that I'm an expert. I screw up as I go along. And one of the main reasons why I created this channel was to show that making mistakes is okay. It's how we learn. It's how we grow. And I'm not going to hide when I make a mistake. I'm going to leave it in the video for you all to see. It's there for you to critique and comment on. As long as the comments aren't hateful, I truly don't mind the feedback and I leave them up. I don't delete any comments unless it's either just pure hate or a death threat, which I haven't received yet. But I have received some hateful comments, which I have had to remove from the comments section because this is supposed to be a safe and welcoming environment for everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. It's important that this stays an open community for education, and I'm going to be the first to tell you that I won't get everything right. I will do things a little bit differently than any other creators out there because I'm self-taught. I didn't go to any type of schooling for any of this stuff. I am purely self-taught, and that's okay. If you're self-taught, that's great. That's how we expand our minds. It's how we expand our learning. And it's not disheartening. It's a little frustrating when, I put myself out there, which is to be expected. I fully expect criticism. But anyways, we're going to jump into the NextCloud installation. We're going to be using the MariaDB container as well. We're going to be internet facing this stuff, and I'm going to walk you through how to do that. And yeah, let's jump into it. All right, so to get started, we're going to head on over to our apps page, and we are going to search for MariaDB. And we are going to use the Linux server repository. And all we need to do is set these guys here, and we can actually remove the remote SQL. So we're going to leave port 3306. For me, I have nothing on that port, so we're just going to leave that. We're going to set a root password for our database. We're going to set the database name for NextCloud. And we're going to set the NextCloud username as the same. And password, we're going to set a separate secure password. And that's all we need to do for this installation. So we're going to go ahead and click apply. And it does install fairly quickly here. And that was it. So we're going to click done. And we need to remember the information that we set in the database name, the user, and the password for the database. We don't need to use the root password for this. So now that we have that installed, we need to search for NextCloud. And here we're going to be using the NextCloud Linux servers repository again. The Linux server guy does an amazing job at putting together some really great containers. Now, next, 443 is a conflicting port for me. So we're going to show our Docker allocations, and I'm going to use 4943. Now here we need to set a path for our data, where it's going to live on our server. Now I've already gone ahead and created a NextCloud share. So if I open the settings up for this, this is how I have it set. I have it set that all new files are put onto the cache drive first, and then everything else, once the mover kicks in for UnRaid, it'll transfer over any data that NextCloud is storing in the cache drive over to our mechanical hard drives. So just wanted to show you that. I'm actually just going to make sure that this folder is empty, which it is not. So I'm just going to delete everything out of here before we go any further. So we're going to go back to our Docker installation, and we're going to set that path. So I'm just going to go NextCloud, and that's all we need to do for this installation. Make sure that you are using a port that is open and free. So from there, we're going to click apply, and we're going to wait for the repository to download all the Docker goodness and get it installed.
I remember gray preludes with ground effects, Clover Point, bogan joints, and hip-hop cassettes. Laid back, just smoking, sunroof open, inhale the weed, exhale my toke when I see a cop drive up. Am I stressing?
Okay, so that's all done, but we're not quite done yet. As I've shown you in the past, we need to be in the habit of checking logs before we start opening up containers. So we're going to click the NextCloud container, and we're going to open up the logs. So we can see here that it's initializing NextCloud, and this can take a couple minutes. So we're going to sit and wait for this to finish up before we get any further into the installation.
Our domes below both the headrests. Silence as the pig just passes, looking at T, and we both just start laughing. Cause shit's sweet in VI like molasses. Window down, tunnel vision on dope asses. 8 p.m. and it's still hot out. Low rider speed bumps at Wendy's bottoming out. Everyone's on a mission. It's like a bee everywhere in one night competition that's got the girls tripping. But you know everyone's alright. We just like these beautiful island nights. That's alright.
I'm working in Victoria at present. What's it like over there? I'm working in Victoria at present.
Okay, so it does look like we are good to go now. So that took around, I think, 3 or 4 minutes. So we're going to close the logs here, and we're going to open the NextCloud web UI. Now it's going to tell us that the connection is not private. That's okay. We're on our personal server. Now here, we need to start setting up our admin account. So I'm going to use just a good strong password. And the next step is what's changed. This used to be 3 radio buttons that you could select from, but it is now changed to defaulting to SQLite. And I think that's because a lot of people who were trying to deploy NextCloud were running into issues with getting a database set up. SQLite is great if you're just using it for light documents and calendar, nothing more. If you're putting large amounts of files on there, large amounts of pictures, you need a proper database. So in order to do that, we need to click Storage and Database. There's a drop-down menu here. And we need to select which database system we are going to be connecting to our NextCloud installation. So to do that, I'm going to be selecting the MySQL or MariaDB tab. And here's where we need to put the information in that we set up when we installed MariaDB. So the database account is NextCloud. The database password that we set up, the database name, which again is NextCloud. Now for your installation, you're going to want to go back to your Docker page. And you're going to want to see what the IP address is for your UnRaid server and the port that you need to connect to. So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that into my DB host. Now from here, you're going to select install. Now, again, this is going to take a minute or two, and what you're going to see is a 503 request timeout. Don't get scared. It's okay. It's a part of the installation process. And if you want to confirm that, we can go back to our Docker and we can open up the logs here. And what you'll see is that there will be a little bit of text that'll come up on the bottom left, letting us know that we are good to go. So we'll come back to NextCloud, and we're going to wait till we see that timeout happen. My bad, it was a 504 gateway timeout. So let's go back to our logs here. Nothing yet. Why don't we just give it a refresh and see what happens? Nope, don't want to do that. I'm just going to close it. And I'm going to come back here to the NextCloud Docker, and I'm going to open up a new web UI. And we're good to go now. So we can put our username and our password in. Okay, so we're logged in. Now, if you click NextCloud on all your devices, it'll bring you to the option to download, but we're not at that point yet. We haven't connected the NextCloud instance to our reverse proxy. However, if you're using Tailscale, and you don't want this internet facing, then you can go ahead and start downloading whatever app you want and connect your NextCloud instance to your device. But we want to make this internet facing. So in order to do that, we need to hop on over to our reverse proxy, and we need to set that up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to open up proxy hosts, and yeah, it's not set up yet. So I'm just going to add a proxy host. Now I've already created a subdomain. Add. The forwarding port is 192.168.1.121. And then I just want to confirm the port, which is 4943. Now, remember, this will be whatever IP address you have for your NextCloud installation. So don't copy mine, because mine is probably not the same as yours. From there, we want to go over to SSL. We want to create a new SSL certificate. We want to enable HTTP2 support. We want to agree, and we're going to save. This usually takes about 15-20 seconds. Sometimes it's a little quicker. And we're done. Now, I don't anticipate this will work right off the bat. No, bad request. So what if we just put HTTP, not secure? Okay, let's edit. And we want to force SSL. Okay, so in order to get this connected, we're actually going to have to edit the configuration file for our NextCloud installation. So let's head over to our NextCloud installation, and we're going to get that configuration file edited. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to admit that I did make a mistake here. When we're creating the reverse proxy host, we want to make sure the scheme is HTTPS, and we want to block common exploits, and we're going to go ahead and save that. So if we go ahead and we open this now, it's actually going to open up our NextCloud installation, but I did have to edit the config PHP file. So I'll show you how I did that. I went over to my shares, and I opened the app data folder right here on the left. And then I found NextCloud, opened that up, And in here, we want to open the www folder. We want to open NextCloud, and we want to open config, and we want to edit this file here, config.php. Now, what I had to do was update the URL that's in here. So I had to put in the nextcloud.familyo.ca, as well as I had to change it down here as well to https nextcloud.familyo.ca. Yes, I have my secret key right here, but I am not leaving this installation up because well, the secret key is out, so I'm not going to leave that this installation active because of that. So just so you are aware, in the future, just so you know, you don't ever want to share this or give this away to anyone. This is for your instance and can really wreak havoc on your system security for your NextCloud installation. So now that that is done, we can open up our instance here. We can log in with the username and password that we set. And now this installation is fully accessible on the internet. So we're at 19 minutes in. That's how quick it was. It may be a little bit shorter after I edit this down and make it consumable. But yeah, that's really it to get NextCloud installed. Now, we want to make this more functional. So if we're going to de-Google our life like I was doing in one of the last videos, we want to add some applications that make this a lot more functional. So we're going to open up our user tab here, and we're going to go down to the apps tab. Now, again, the NextCloud community has done an amazing job at creating some just astronomically well put together applications here. So what I want to focus on is Office and text. So from here, we can add applications like appointments. So, you know, if we're using this for a business, we can have customers or clients book their own appointments in with you. But for the easiest installation to get most people up and running, we're going to install the Calendar app. And if you've used Google Calendar, Microsoft Calendar, Apple Calendar, it's extremely similar, and you can actually connect your personal calendars to it as well. And the next thing we want to install is our contacts, because having our contacts is important. And then we want to get our NextCloud Office installed. Now, I was speaking prior about integrating this with Microsoft Office, and they do have an application for that. It is called Office Online Integration, and it allows you to edit Microsoft Office documents just as if you were on the Microsoft Office website. So that's one of the great benefits here. Now, we can also install a Notes application, which always comes in handy. I do have to say, since installing Joplin, I have fully made the switch to Joplin for my notes. I am 100% off the Apple Notes application to the point where I actually deleted all my notes there. And it felt really good taking that step to get off at least one of the Apple ecosystems that I've been using for the better part of, I think, 12 or 13 years now. So, yeah, I'm extremely happy with Joplin Notes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my de-Google Your Life video. I show you how to get Joplin installed there. It's actually really simple. You just download the Joplin app, excuse me, on UnRaid through the Community Applications tab. And then you deploy a very simple WebDAV application, which I also want to point out NextCloud has built in. They do have WebDAV built in. So if you wanted to, you could actually just create a folder on NextCloud and share that as a WebDAV folder to your Joplin. And it'll use your NextCloud installation for your notes. They also have a ton of other apps here like Mail, LibreSign, Money, only Office. Yeah, they've a password manager, which I don't recommend. Use or Vault Warden for that. Again, that was in the Google Your Life video. They've got phones, they've got SMS. Yeah, they have a Salesforce bridge. They've got so much stuff in here. NextCloud is a powerhouse for self-hosting, so I highly encourage everyone to check it out at least once in their lifetime. I do understand that using an open source software for your cloud stuff can be quite a challenge to make the transition fully. It's kind of where I'm at. It's really difficult to make that full transition. But once you do, like I'm finding with Joplin, it does become easier and easier. Now, that's pretty much it. That's the installation. It took us 23 minutes, and I didn't pause any of the installation. This is a unpaused version of it, whereas normally I would either pause and then jump back in when the installation is done, or I'll fast forward through it, which I'm kind of thinking I'll do that for the UnRaid Docker deployment part, because that did take about 5 minutes. But yeah, that's it, guys. It's super simple. Once you get the hang of it and start using it, it becomes a lot more intuitive. Now, there's a ton of other tools that you can have built in here. Like you can even install a chat application in here so you can chat with other NextCloud users. There's maps, there's searches, there's a ton of stuff for multimedia. So I highly encourage you to check out NextCloud. Try it out. Let me know down in the comments if you have any issues or if you need some help troubleshooting. Don't forget to check out the Discord as well. There's about 25 to 28 people in the Discord right now, and I'd love to build that community up. I'm not the best at always being attentive to some of the chat that goes on in the server, especially since I made it a community one, so that anytime someone messages, the whole group isn't being notified. So I do jump in there from time to time and try and help you guys out. So that's another resource that you have. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys are enjoying the weather. It is absolutely beautiful here on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. And yeah, enjoy your summer, enjoy your unraiding, and I will catch you in the next one. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of this community. I can't thank you enough. So with all that said, I'm out of here. Thank you again, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Goodbye.